We'll take another story. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has challenged the former governor of Enugu State, Chimaroke Nnamani, who accused Obi of projecting ethnic and religious bigotry to show proof where he portrayed such an act. Nnamani made the allegations in a series of tweets shortly after his defeat at the senatorial poll. Nnamani accused Obi of using his devious opium served to Christians and to Igbos domiciled in different sections of Nigeria to set the political trajectory of the region 24 years back, and also alleged that Obi used the message of hate, bile, and incitement to subjugate the people of the Southeast. Peter Obi, in response, said that he is the direct opposite of the picture painted by Nnamani, and that he has always championed issue-based campaigns. Obi's statement reads in part, "I find it very shocking that you had to label me as an ethnic and religious bigot, and as one who indulges in a campaign of hatred. In this instance, I like to state unequivocally that I am the direct opposite of what you said in your statement, and what my campaigns have been. I want to believe that my dear older brother must have mistaken me for someone else, because in this campaign, I have consistently championed issue-based campaigns and maintained so, even using illustrations and data to buttress my position, to the extent that I have been accused of using data wrongly, and media houses had to create fact-check desks just to monitor and address issues I raised during campaigns." For that one, he got that right. Yeah. You know that was Peter Obi's rhetoric the whole time. Go and verify. Wow. But I mean, I think that it is quite irresponsible for Mr. Chimaroke Nnamani to have put out that tweet. I don't know if we can pull up those tweets that he sent after he lost his senatorial seat. Ayo.
All right, so that's his tweet. It's very easy for one to read the litany of tweets by Senator Chimaroke Nnamani as just rantings of a sore loser. It's easy to see it that way. Because, and I'm glad that Mr. Peter Obi responded to the series of tweets, because Senator Nnamani projects himself as a banner and a statesman and says that he's a leader, particularly from the Southeast. However, his statements or the things that he has said and his actions have not been statesmanly. When you make allegations or you say things that are heavy, like what he's accused Mr. Peter Obi of doing, it is important that you come with facts. And then, unfortunately, he came to, or he's speaking to someone who is a fact checker, so he verifies facts himself. One thing I have to say, for the records, is that one of the things that a number of observers praised Mr. Peter Obi's campaign for was his not using or attacking the person, but an issue-based campaign that he ran. People said, oh, you were going to places, you were going here and there, but we saw the opposition do even worse. And following that, I mean, Lagos State example is one. The Lagos State governor, after they had accused Mr. Peter Obi of going to churches, who then became a church greeter at the end of the day. These are examples that we see and we think, okay, you cannot accuse one man of doing something and then you go on and use the same strategy because it was not. But it's the people who are saying that this is, it's not for people like you. Don't go home if you're not from this, if you're not going to, from this tribe, if you're not going to vote, are the real people that Senator Nnamani should be speaking to.
And you made that point, really, because I'll take some reaction. Let me take just one from Sandra, who wrote, there's only one candidate that said, Emi Lokan, Yoruba Lokan, and topped it off with a same faith ticket. That candidate ran on entitlement, ethnicity, and religion with his full chest. That person is not Peter Gregory Obi. Well, this whole conversation is coming as the chief whip of the Senate, Orji Uzor Kalu, on Tuesday said that it is his turn to become president of the Senate in the 10th National Assembly. While speaking with journalists, Kalu said that he is the highest ranking senator from the Southeast and therefore deserves the position.
If we practice true democracy, I should not be in contest with anybody in this position. Because apart from the Senate President himself, Deputy Senate President Mogege, the Senate Leader Gobe, I'm the highest ranking member of the Senate. The Nigerian people will pray for me to be Senate president because it is my turn.
Oh, all right, Dr. Abati, really quickly on this story.
Okay, two quick things here. First, Mr. Peter Obi, he seems to have mastered the art of issuing rebuttals without being offensive.
I love it.
Because if you look at that his statement in which he responded to Senator Chimaroke Nnamani, a former senator representing Enugu East, who lost in the recent election. He must have used the word "my brother," my elder brother, my dear brother, about 4 times.
I knew you were going to pick on that, yeah.
And after debunking all the allegations against him about being a religious and ethnic bigot, which he says he's not, and that he was preaching about character, competence, compassion, and that in any case, it wasn't only Igbos that voted for him, that non-Igbos voted for him everywhere, you know, where he took his message to. And he thought that Senator Chimaroke Nnamani may have mistaken him for someone else. You know, such very polite insults. And then at the end of the day, he said, well, Senator Chimaroke Nnamani says he needs some lessons in certain aspects of leadership and needs to go back to school. He ended his statement by saying, why do I have to go back to school when I have my dear brother, Senator Nnamani, knows a lot about leadership? Rather than go back to school, I'll come and learn at your feet. Of course, all of that is tongue-in-cheek. But he was able to make his point. However, I think in this matter, you, Asat, must prove. If you want to push Mr. Peter Obi further, you will tell him, well, sue Senator Chimaroke Nnamani for defamation. Because he has made claims about you that you say are not true. He even called Peter Obi, he referred to him as Gringori. I thought he was going to call him Gringori or Kafo.
Gregory.
But he said, no, he said Gringori. That's what he wrote, you know, which is also
Playing
like,
with his
you know,
name,
a slur, almost dismissing him as a comedian, you know. But what we can just appeal for is that, look, political leaders, people that people look up to, should just try to be very civil with one another. You see there, Peter Gringori Obi,
Playing with his middle name.
how he has set Igbo political tragedy 24 years back. Not many people will agree with that. If anything, with the obedient movement, he has further promoted, you know, not just Igbo interest, the interest of those who want change in Nigeria, because he consistently said he's not an Igbo, he's not seeking to be Igbo president. He wanted to be president of Nigeria. And to go to Senator Orji Kalu, the chief whip of the 9th National Assembly, where he says he wants to be, you know, Senate president, and that in fact the Senate presidency should be brought to Igbere, his community in Abia, and that he should be brought to his family, because as a ranking senator, it is now his turn. Yeah. Emilokon. You know, so this Emilokon is a confirmation of the nature of Nigerian democracy. I mean, Nigerian democracy is turn by turn. It's turn by turn. I hear now that, in fact, one developing scenario is that when people see a beautiful lady, they just call her and say, my friend, you look good, Emilokon. It's my turn.
Okay, Doctor.
So that is what you get, you know, but this turn by turn should not be the emphasis, particularly in political leadership, in public service. The emphasis should be on service, should be on capacity to deliver. But the APC has not yet zoned the offices. We are hoping that the leadership of the 10th National Assembly of Nigeria will be on the basis not just of a political advantage, but on the basis of competence, of ability, of readiness to serve Nigeria. And that 10th National Assembly will not turn out to be another rubber stamp assembly.
All right. We'll take another story. In the wake of the rhetoric from